Welcome back, tribe. I have a video here from The Cat Merchant. Funny name. Let's get into it.
Passport bros.
A passport bro is a term used to describe a Western man who leaves their country in order to find a woman from a non-Western country.
There you go, mate. That all good? Yeah. Cheers. Nice
Cheers,
one.
mate.
Thanks.
Some are seeking more traditional relationships and some just have a preference for foreign women.
Thank you. I'm right here. I'm single. Why?
Passport bros community needs to be studied. Or do they really? Because really what it boils down to is patriarchy, toxic masculinity, and is infantilization and fetishization. Because, like, if you think about it, the basis of their whole ideology is that American girls take too much shit for granted.
How much money do you think a guy should make per year?
100,000. And we're entitled.
Like $1 million, $2 million? Like 500 grand? A lot. A lot. We're expensive.
Yeah, mills.
How much does a man need to earn to have, to provide a comfortable living here in the Philippines?
30K per month.
30K per month.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're earning 100,000 pesos a month, here in the Philippines, you're considered rich.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay, 50K is about $1,000 US.
We're too outspoken. We don't want to follow in line with, like, the traditional family and couple roles that they want.
Not overweight.
When these guys approach me, they have these expectations, and I'm nurturing and I'm traditional and I want to take care of them and serve them. Bitch, I don't.
Because never forget that these types of men want a mother.
Problem is, she was a really nice girl, and all she cared about was taking care of me, and I don't need somebody that does that.
Oh.
All she was worried about all the time is how I am and what I'm doing.
Like, have you eaten?
Oh, and everything I do, let me do that for you. No, I can't deal with that.
A slut and a Madonna all in once that won't talk back to them.
What's the biggest green flag?
Oh, if they fucking suck my Corey.
That's simple, I guess, isn't it? What's the biggest red flag?
If they don't.
Because there might be a language barrier, I feel like they like the little, like, oh, giggly, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say, like, I feel like they like that shit. Like, it makes them feel dominant and more intelligent.
So you want someone more independent?
50-50. Yeah.
50-50, an equal partner.
Killing it with
Okay.
A lot of people in my comments are commenting on Asian women being submissive, and I think that's a misinterpretation of how they show respect.
Some Western women think so highly of themselves that when a man do something for them, they think that it's the bare minimum because they're the queen. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to do the laundry, the dishes, clean the house and everything because what they say is like, I'm supposed to do that for my man.
And that's really the basis of it all, isn't it? It's not that American women are more entitled.
I know I'm a prize. And so I think that a man should value me for what I am.
We don't recognize our own privilege.
So if the woman is
It's wild, man. Once you start traveling and you see the difference, the audacity, the entitlement becomes so apparent. The reason why these foreign women find these men attractive is because they're not delusional. They accurately rate men. They don't get their cues from social media, from narratives pushed on high, movies, TV shows. They don't get told they're boss babes, that they deserve everything and more, that they don't need to put in work, that they're special, God's gift to earth. None of that exists out here in the rest of the real world. This narrative is only pushed in the West. Men are tired and they're leaving. And when you see that you get treated like a human being with respect, when women place value on your ability to provide as a man, your ability to protect as a man, your utility as a man, and she reciprocates that value with her own femininity, nurturing nature, turning a house into a home, giving you kids, wanting to support you in your dreams, doing everything she can to build you up as a man, because in the end, it benefits her. It benefits the entire family. There's no adversarial nature to a man and a woman in the rest of the world. It's two people coming together to build a legacy. It benefits both people. In the West, we're taught that we're the enemy for each other. Women are trying to screw men out of their money, and men are just trying to screw women and dash. And when these people come together with that kind of mentality, you start to get this toxic behavior that's exhibited from both sides, but especially for women, because the narrative doesn't push superiority of men in the West today. The patriarchy this, you're evil, you're a predator, but when you're a woman, you're empowered to sleep around. You're empowered when you leave your husband. You're empowered to choose your career over your own family. You're empowered to go explore, to experience the world, to find yourself with a bunch of other men. This is what's getting pushed through the mainstream down to young girls that are very impressionable and take this as a cue how I should live my life, what brings me real happiness. And it's none of this. This is why they're all depressed. This is why they turn 30, start collecting cats. This is why they start to get super bitter. This is why they make videos on TikTok now trying to affirm all their bad decisions, or why they're crying, why the world isn't fair, why men are still predators because they don't pick me. When I'm 30 plus years old, I had access to every man I ever wanted. And now that I'm 30 plus and I made all these decisions and I don't want to deal with my consequences, it's still a man's fault. He's just insecure. He doesn't want a real woman. He just wants to be a predator and get young women. You know, like the young woman you used to be, where you used to go after older men and you were enjoying all the benefits of your youth and your beauty. Now it's a problem. Now men are going overseas. Now men are finding exactly what they're looking for in the rest of the world. What are they now? Sex tourists, predators, taking advantage of dumb women, taking advantage of women that are uneducated, can't even speak English, economic disparity. When most of these women overseas are more cultured, more traveled, more intelligent, in better shape, have more life skills for marriage and relationships, and were brought up in homes that weren't broken. They have their entire families together, including the extended family. They're far more well-rounded, reasonable people. They're superior to you in almost every way when it comes to marriage and relationships. They can't stand this. That's the brutal truth. They're better than you.
The prize, what would that make the man?
The wallet.
We take our
useless
privileges for granted and shit like that.
Am I getting paid? Are you paying my rent? No. Like what? Do I need to call you a fucking nanny? Boy, bye.
We are just naturally family-oriented people, that's all. And you can't deny the fact here in the United States, it's not like that anymore.
What it really is we are in the dawn of the time when women can be just as advantageous and successful as men have historically been allowed to be.
I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but we don't chase men! We chase the bag! We don't need honeys, we need monies.
And now that we are at that...
You notice the facial structure? It's a little plump, right? What blows me away about the West is their demands for the men, 6 figures, 6-pack, 6 feet or taller. When you look like Becky next door who enjoys Twinkies a little too much. That's the equivalent of like a short, not even a short man, just an average man. Any old average dude talking about, I deserve a 6-foot model. 36, 24, 36 measurements. She cooks, she cleans, she speaks 10 languages, she has modeling contracts, wants to serve me, have 10 babies by me. You know what I mean? Like this, that is the equivalent of what women are doing. And you're just an average Ted. No man would dare search for such a woman. She may exist, but damn, the 0.01% of women that really fall in there is so ridiculous. We know we're going to die alone if we're searching for that kind of woman. But the difference is these women, regular plain Janes down the street, Humpty Dumpty huffing and puffing just to get the mail, are talking about, I need a 6-foot plus dude making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. And he has to be a little young, and he can't be obese. He can't not be married, doesn't want any other women, will serve me, beck and call, pays for everything I ever want. Right? They're looking for like an alpha simp. Doesn't even exist in the real world. You want this kind of man that makes millions of dollars. He's not going to be around you that often. He's working. He's hustling. He's getting shit together. You want this kind of man that's 6+ feet with 6 figures, 6-pack, also handsome, everything. He's hitting the entire list. There's going to be a million women around him. You're just going to be one of many. Yet you still think you can nab this guy being a plain Jane, that you're somehow going to tame the stallion. It's never going to happen. And the women he's hanging out with don't look like her at all. It would be equally delusional for a man to say he deserves like the top model that's 5'10" or more with the perfect figure, beautiful face, beautiful smile, has all the perfect attributes, will love him till death do us part, whether he's rich or he's poor. Ride or die. That doesn't exist, bro. And men know this. Only a delusional man, and they're very rare and few in between. Because we get checked. Society beats us down to reality. It's hard enough to just get one woman if you're an average guy in the West today, let alone a quality woman. Most guys will open up dating apps and they're dealing with cave trolls. They're dealing with Humpty Dumptys.
Age, we will no longer tolerate things like belittlement, domestic violence, putting us in a box, telling us what we will and won't do.
Made up
You
problem.
think all foreigners are rich?
I think they're rich, but not rich by like the money, like rich in their hearts. Like
I wish that you guys could see it's really not that complicated with American women. We're just asking to be met halfway as far as respect.
Men are stupid and I don't respect them.
You know, that same respect that you are hoping you get.
I have never felt like a king or got true king treatment until I went out of this country.
Facts.
Type of foreigners that you like?
Well, those people who, has an aura that they're approachable and you can sense that they're not, rude.
Okay.
Those type of foreigners, yeah.
Okay, so you guys have to have an approachable aura. Okay. Thank you so much, Mika.
When you go over there and seduce young women.
You let a Filipina from the province plan your date.
Didn't you lose these?
No.
She's never been to the club before.
So long story short, I'm the type of woman that's the last stop before they make loud declarations that they're going to go to Asia when their feet have never been more than 5 feet off the ground, when they had to go do the jump test in PE class when they were in 6th grade.
It's easier for these men to go overseas, get one of these victims.
I think for them, they might think it's like easier, which is disgusting, guys. Like, stop.
Do you like foreigners?
Some foreigners I do like, but some I don't.
Some you like, some you don't. Okay, what are the type of foreigners that you like?
Well, those people who, has an aura that they're approachable and you can sense that they're not, rude.
Okay.
Those type of foreigners, yeah.
You got a whole bunch of girls that would like to get a decent partner, and you got a pension, and you're a nice guy, and you don't drink, and you don't smoke, and you just like to do nice things.
Right.
It's easy to find girls.
Okay, so you guys have to have an approachable aura. Okay. Thank you so much, Mika.
A lot of these passport bros are exploiting a power imbalance economically.
Y'all are taking advantage of these women. Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education.
Excuse me?
Want a woman who they can control 100% or as close to it as they can.
And that's where I think the word submissive sort of gets lost in translation, because I've been traveling the world as a single guy for 3 years, and that's not the way it works that's not the way it works. You show them a lot of respect, and then they just start doing things for you and showing you respect back. So it's definitely give first and then receive, but sometimes it feels like 10x of what you're used to be honest.
They're just happy to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity.
So do you think Filipinos are gold diggers?
No. I don't. I think most of the Filipino people are real honest, nice people.
Okay.
I've been here 9 years, and I've never been robbed. I've never been accosted, never been scammed.
How many Filipino girlfriends did you have?
Many.
Many?
Many. Girls are real good here. Yeah, they are. You have a large quantity of girls here that aren't married, and a lot of the men here are gay, from what I can see.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Did this man just admit that he went to a foreign country to find himself a wife?
No.
Because he wants somebody with traditional values, which means that he wants a slave.
Usually the girl won't go with the man unless she likes him and she thinks he's attractive or she thinks he's okay. She won't go.
He wants somebody that will abide by and listen to literally
Mental disease, bull ring, tattoo, short hair, no dad present, angry at the world, lonely, miserable. What better way to describe them all? They all suffer from this, don't they? All the ones making this TikToks, for sure. Come on, man. Why would you waste your time taking one of these kinds of women out on a date? As a man, especially if you're not interested in pumping and dumping and you really want to start a family and you're looking for traditional women that are family-oriented, marriage-minded. What is this? What is this? This is why I say, work on yourself. Work hard. It will pay off. All you need to do is get your pockets right. Take care of your body. And once you get a passport and go overseas, you will be blown away. I'm telling you. I have experienced it myself. Do you know what it's like to go on a date and have a woman thank you for taking her out? Thank you for dinner. cooking you up breakfast the next morning, grabbing food from the store, bringing it to your house to make a meal. And you didn't do anything extra. This is the same thing you've been doing in the dating scene, but you're now receiving 10x back. And they're all educated, and they can speak multiple languages, and they're close to their families. They love their fathers. They hang out with their grandparents. Oh my God, what a refreshing thing to experience as a man. It's there for you. All you need is a little blue book, and you'll escape the degeneracy.
Everything he says, he wants somebody to comply. He wants a slave. Traditional values. Oh, you mean seen and not heard, marital R word is not a thing, child rearer, cook, you know, like the good old days when women couldn't vote, when women couldn't have bank accounts, when women couldn't leave their husband.
They're not really allowed to explore outside of the house, etc., because their husband doesn't want them to find that freedom.
Do you think foreigners are generous?
I think so, yeah.
You may or may not be able to drive. You may or may not be able to speak English properly and, like, be able to really find people. Do you now see why a lot of these same men are searching overseas to find quality women worthy of marriage? Yeah.
It's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Most of the foreigners that I encounter are generous. Give foods to the beggars, money to the beggars.
Why do they care that men are going their own way and finding women in foreign countries? Why are they so upset?
Because we don't care. Look, we don't care. We do not care.
They need these men to stay in their orbit, to keep validating them. That is what they're terrified, is they will lose the influence they have amongst the few men who still put up with.
The wallets are walking away. That's what's happening. These men used to be the walking wallets that would constantly orbit around them as she's getting pumped and dumped by the guys she does choose to go on dates with. And these guys are finally getting fed up. They're seeing everything on social media, how it could be by other men who have traveled. That's it. I'd rather get my blue book and head out too. What happens when your money dries up from simps? The realness comes out, the bitterness, the hate, the envy. You know, it's like the reverse nice guy. How nice guys play the long game, how they get really upset when a woman turns them down when they finally make an advance, how they get called a B and you're ugly anyways and all this, right? This is why nice guys are so disgusting, is because they pretend to be nice because they're trying to get in your pants. These women covering passport bros saying, I don't need them, I don't care, calling them losers all of a sudden. These are supposed to be invisible men, no? Truly, dusties, as they call them, irrelevant, on your radar as a woman. Yet, they're so emotionally invested in what these men are doing overseas. They're thousands of miles away. You are not even allowed to post having a good time. You can't be seen as having fun, as living a stress-free life, having a woman cook for you. A smile on your face sets them off because that used to be hers. That was her little simp wallet. That guy used to take her out on a date and get nothing in return. Now he's happy and now they're older and it's all dried up now. The options dwindling. The men not putting up with it. Now they're collecting cats, doubling down, heavily tattooed, bull ring everywhere, anger exploding out of them. They can't even form a sentence without the angry look, the thousand cock stare. That's the face of defeat, baby. Live with it. Consequences. What a beautiful thing.
Normalize sexual marketplace value for the culture at large, but maybe the culture that and the context that matters most to you is your campus, or maybe the people in your homeroom class. There's all kinds of hierarchies within social systems.
Okay, so then you would then judge it based off like, okay, is that guy an athlete? Is he like doing well, or like what would be
in high school? Yeah, that's the stereotypical one. It's like who is the big man on campus is the quarterback, right?
Sure.
Does this guy can he compete with somebody who's 35, makes $1 million a year? Just depends on what the woman is looking for. You know, she might be so involved in that context that she will actually choose the quarterback over somebody who makes hundreds of $1,000s a year. This is why this is great advice for guys, especially the shorter kings out there. Find a context in which you can shine. You can be a contextual alpha. You might not love that term, but you can definitely have a higher sexual marketplace value in certain contexts versus others.
Would you consider dating a foreigner? 150%.
All she was worried about all the time is how I am and what I'm doing.
Okay.
When they get a foreigner, they want to take care of him.
Good luck dying alone with your cats.
Beautiful. See what the comments say. We just want a woman who's nice to us and feminine. So simple, eh? My Filipina girlfriend and I love watching these videos together and laughing at the angry modern Western women. Cheer to all passport bros who are happily married and just having the best time of their life. I went Japanese 48 years ago and never regretted it. Perfect wife, magnificent mother, and never competition. The ignorance of Western women is remarkable. I went to China for my job 20 years ago. After 1 month in China, I realized I would never date another Western woman again. The games that these gynocracy-inspired Western women play and all their victimhood while living in one of the most progressive countries in the world, complaining about the patriarchy, misogyny, and all men are trash, we don't need men, etc. Why not leave if you have the resources? My wife is from the Philippines. I met her 15 years ago in Hong Kong, and we've been happily married for 12 years. By the way, I'm educated, hardworking, and successful. I've had many girlfriends in the US, but never found wife material. Every woman I dated tried to improve me like I was a project. Gynocracy has made Western women very aggressive and masculine, telling them that sleeping around is empowerment. We now live in the Philippines. I have a remote job that pays me well, and we live a fantastic life together. Don't let anyone guilt you into not following your dreams, ambition, and preferences. Honestly, the dating scene here in the US has become a depressing cesspool of you pay the way while she watches TV. When I went to Europe, it was eye-opening. Then I went to Eastern Europe. It was amazing. I lived and worked in Europe for 10 years, and I traveled a lot. I lived in Moscow for 2 years, where I met my wife. 16 years later, I'm still with my wife living in the US. I look around and see my friends and coworkers getting divorced and the quality of women in terms of beauty and everything else. I'm so glad I accidentally ran into this different world of relationships decades before the passport bro was a thing. Got married last year to my Colombian wife, and she's damn near perfect in every way a man wants his wife to be. Do you see what the comments are saying? Do you see the difference? Enough said, boys. Told you guys 2023 was going to be the year of the passport bro exploding. And now it's become mainstream, and it will only keep increasing. I guarantee you that all the younger guys are watching this and now rewiring their life plans to somehow find remote opportunities to go overseas and stay there, because there's no point. We're priced out with inflation. Try to buy a house today, buy any land today, anywhere remotely close to where you work. Damn near impossible. Most of the jobs are in the big cities or near them. Property prices have gotten out of control. Your dollar, when you look in the cart, when you go shopping for food and groceries, smaller and smaller and smaller. Couple $100 gets you a couple fruit, a little bit of meat, and whatever else you need. That used to be an entire cart for weeks at a time. Not anymore. Renting a spot? Good luck, brother. Median rent has surpassed $2,000 a month in the United States. How insane is that? $2,000 a month, you live well here in Eastern Europe. $2,000 a month in Southeast Asia, you live like a king. So when you go overseas, it's not just the quality of women. It's your quality of life that improves. This is what men need to understand. The financial aspect of this is the most important. You get to live. You're no longer surviving when you go overseas. You get to eat healthy, good food, have expendable income to actually go do things, go to the beaches, go to nice restaurants, go to events, museums, parks, travel throughout the country, better weather, which allows you to make better memories, better experiences with better people, which at the end of the day, those last three things are all that matters in this world. Truly. The people around you, the things you get to experience in life, and the memories you get to have. That's it, man. That's all we take to our grave. Everything else is irrelevant. The nice cars, the flashy diamonds, all that other shit does not matter. Being stuck in America in a dingy apartment, maybe sharing it with a roommate because it's too damn expensive, working that low-end job where a company doesn't give a shit about you and you're getting taxed to death by the IRS, and the roads are crumbling and there's homeless everywhere, crime has exploded, and you're barely making it by. You can't even afford to take a trip to the beach. You can't afford to even have any fun. What kind of life is that? That's a nightmare. You should be doing everything you possibly can to escape that. And when men successfully achieve those objectives and they get out of the country, you're going to get shamed anyway. You get shamed in the US if you're a dusty. If you're living the life I just described, you're automatically a dusty to most women. So you're shamed anyway. If you get your shit together and then head overseas to lower the financial burden and finally get to live on a decent salary, you're still shamed. So it doesn't matter what they think. The only thing that matters is for you to sit down and get a plan together of how you're going to get out of this mess, man. I don't have a 5-step plan for you guys because everybody's so different. You have unique skills and experiences in life up to this point that you've acquired, and you need to figure out a way to monetize them or teach yourself a skill. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what you're good at. But certainly sitting down and making a plan is absolutely paramount for a man today. Step by step every day, get closer to your objective. It is worth it. And for those guys that are teetering on giving up or have given up, my only message, especially after seeing this video, it is absolutely worth it to self-improve. It's absolutely worth it to put down all the coping mechanisms and time sinks you have. I'm sorry, boys, but I have to say it. Video games, alcohol, drugs, weed, adult entertainment, anime, whatever it is, for the time being at least. I'm not saying permanently. If you love those things, that's great. You can indulge in video games and all that stuff later. Right now, you have to build. Right now, you have to escape the trap, because coming home, coping for hours on end, only to wake up again, go to work, earn a menial wage, come back home again, order takeout, eat crappy food, play video games until the homies log off, go to sleep, wake up, repeat, dude, and life passes you by. 5 years pass, 10 years pass, 20 years pass. You got nothing to show for it, and you're stuck in the endless loop, the trap. You have to lay down proper steps, write out a plan, and start attacking every objective until you complete it. At the very least, man, save up a few thousand and take a trip overseas to Thailand or the Philippines. Those are the 2 cheapest that you could do right now, just so you can get firsthand experience of how different life could be for how much cheaper as well. Do not give up. The pond is poisoned where we live in the West. That's fine. Take your rod, your lure, and your boat and go somewhere else. You have that option, and you've always had that option. By the way, I appreciate everybody who's been buying shirts. Thank you so much. Helps a tremendous amount. If you have any ideas for clips, articles, and videos, look at the bottom right here, tribeofmen@yahoo.com. Please submit any of them that you think would be good to cover on the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.